Hey everybody, welcome to Goots' Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Ray Goots, and we are talking all about wrestling with Kyle. Kyle, it's Goots' Wrestling Pod. Sorry, a text came in. I was like, oh, that's weird. Kyle, how you feeling, man?
I'm all right. Was that text? Did you just get released, or what was that
They
text?
asked me to take a 50% pay cut, but I haven't had a job in 11 years, so the joke's on them.
Oh,
But
that's a good way to get past that.
TKO did say, like, well, then you have to give us 50% of what you made at Caroline's per week.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, Hey, listen, it's a breakdown. We're going to cover WWF Breakdown '98. It's September of '98. We're almost done with '98, but let's talk about modern things. A lot of stuff happening. Not really. More behind the scenes than on camera because I'm not both shows. I'm not watching lately. But the New Day has quit WWE. The New Day was supposed to take a 50% pay cut. They said no. They took off. This sent shockwaves all over the wrestling community. So many people now. I forget that like people in 2016, like that were like 10, are now 20 and are in the workforce. So like the New Day
Hmm.
has been their entire childhood. I forget that sometimes. Or let's go
Yeah.
even go back to 2014. If you were like 11, you're now 23, and if you're like 23, you're now 34. So this is a big part of their lives. For me, 2014 to now feels like 2 days have passed, but it's not.
Yeah.
This is a lot of people's childhood was wrecked this weekend with the New Day leaving. The rumor is they're going to AEW. First of all, Kyle, what are your thoughts? The New Day leaving WWE.
It shocked me. I think I had a comedy show that Saturday, and I should not have been as upset that I was Friday into Saturday, and I was just like, it's almost like they're not dead, but like losing a big part of you. The New Day was very important to me, not just as a wrestling fan, but as a black fan, a fan of somebody who liked Kofi Kingston from Jump. I made some jokes on Twitter about his jobbing years for a while, but outside of that, I always liked Kofi. To see everything that they've done from when they were booed, from being at the Garden, where I'm trying to do the New Day rocks with my brother and some guy just like give it a rest, and they're mocking us to them getting over as heels, longest reigning tag champions, skipping a few things here, Kofi Mania, Big E, the heel turn, just so much. To see that just go out in a sad statement, not even from them, but from Sean Ross Sapp, and that's not an insult to him. It's just not how a career like that should end. Not even in a little bit, at least in the WWE. So it's really upsetting that they couldn't come to terms. It seemed like they tried to revalue them, even though it's their fault that they didn't get the push. Not the New Day's fault. It's the creative and TKO's fault that the New Day didn't get the push that they were had a layup of a push to get, and now you're gonna try and say that they're devalued. Like, get out of here with that. So good on them for leaving, and whether it's AEW, New Japan, TNA. I'm excited to see what's next for them.
I definitely think it's going to be AEW.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, they got all the friends over there. You do those
yeah.
stream matches.
Um, yeah. I mean, the thing about it is that like they really fucked up the heel turn, and I asked somebody who's in the know at Fightful, and they said Big E never wanted to return to wrestling, has no intention. Now, I will say, if I was Big E and I wanted to return to wrestling, I would make sure nobody would think I wanted to return to wrestling and that I was really fucked up
Mm,
because
mm.
if we all think he's done, and then one day he comes out and just fucking annihilates like Cody Rhodes, it's gonna be one of the best moments in wrestling history, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
so my thing is like wrestlers lie. So it's like you can tell me, but you're not in Big E's heart. My feeling on why the New Day push fell apart is I really do think that they thought there was a possibility that Big E could wrestle again. And I think the only people who had this conversation were Kofi, Xavier, Nick Khan, and Triple H. I don't think anyone else knew that had this conversation.
Mm.
And I think Biggie went to a doctor and they were like, no, you can't return ever. Right.
Yeah.
And WWE lost interest in the New Day push. Rather than pivoting, now my idea years ago, in fact, I said this to Andrew Lee in the pod, is for the New Day to have been Cena's Paul and Nash. That would have been great. They didn't
Yeah.
do that. They didn't do that. They just kind of gave up with the New Day. And everyone's crying out the New Day, but I was in Vegas when they wrestled the War Raiders. We all went to the bathroom. I'm sorry, I didn't see the match. I still haven't seen the match. So that was their last WrestleMania match. But what I'm saying is like they gave up the New Day. And I'm starting to think that maybe Big E is got approved by someone to get back in the ring, and Triple H and Nick Khan are like, we're still not going to pass you. The pay
Mhm.
cut it, and the New Day's like, we'll go to AEW, and Big E, you can basically be Christian 2.0. So that's my theory that the reason this all fell apart was they can't get Big E cleared. But I think that I'm going to tell you, Kyle, within 3 years you're going to see Big E back in the ring in AEW. That's my prediction.
I mean, I can definitely see that. It depends on how much he likes his WWE analyst stuff. I mean, we've seen it with Edge, we've seen it with Edge Cope, we've seen it with Paige.
Mhm.
The neck, especially for the younger wrestlers, just needs time to heal. This
Yeah,
isn't 1997 where Stone Cold could take 4 months off, technically no months off, and just to do that. I mean, he took a year off a year later in '99, and heal his neck. Or Kurt Angle takes 6 months off. You take years to heal, and then you can go back if you want to go back to doing matches. Big E is still relatively young, even though he'll be probably in his 40s by then. If he's not in his 40s now, he's 40 now. In a few years, he'll be 43, which is like 25 and WWE years now, but
yeah,
and even AEW years. I could see it. I could genuinely see it. I think the Hall and Nash idea would have been a good idea because they had people like Cody Rhodes like shaking their head. Like imagine if he was like if they were helping John Cena or they were stopping Jey Uso and like in real matches, not Jey Uso squashing Theory and Grayson Waller, who knows what's gonna happen with Grayson Waller now. But like real matches, like Kofi Kingston versus Jey Uso, and he's like, "You're trying to pull a me. You're trying to pull like a Kofi Mania," and then they have like an actual feud, and while they're doing the Gunther thing, or even a 6 man where the main event is Jey Uso and Gunther. I mean Jey Uso and the War Raiders against Gunther and the New Day, and that's your main event for Raw, which like back in the Attitude Era was like a thing. You'd get like The Rock and the Hardys against Edge and Christian and Triple H or something, or Kurt Angle or something like that, which is like I think another reason why these guys aren't over, you're not mixing and matching these people like you used to. Like that
yeah,
stuff got the Hardys over, Too Cool, whoever it was, got that rub, like a real rub. And then you were able to give a shit about the rest of the stuff later. Like we don't have that anymore. Like nobody touches nobody. You're here, you're here. And then you want to say that these people are devalued, and it's your fault. Like you're writing the show. It's your fault that this is happening to lose somebody, two people who not just in the ring, outside the ring, up, up, down, down, all the promotional stuff. I think they were on the whenever Netflix did the One Piece thing. Netflix had some award show. New Day was there with the core group of Seth, Becky, Rhea, all that stuff. To lose them because you're trying to save a couple bucks, it just shows that someone there is just not thinking correctly at all. And it's a shame. And you're driving people away. You're not just driving wrestlers away, you're driving long-term fans away. Sure, you'll get new ones, but it's getting harder and harder to watch WWE when you're like, all these people I like, whether it's big or in the middle, like I'm not they're going to go away. So why am I getting invested in these stories that are not the bloodline? Because you're just getting rid of everybody anyway.
yeah. Well, I really think that the big issue, I think the big problem with everything, and I think that this is going to lead to a major problem, is the death of house shows. The reason
Absolutely.
why they're doing the pay cut, and I don't like this, but from a business standpoint, I see it. It's like when we had house shows, the New Day could be there running reps with like Axiom or
Yeah.
they could basically be player coaches, but there's no need for that. There's if I don't have any space for the New Day on Raw, SmackDown, or main event, and if you put the New Day in main event, people are going to bitch and moan. Why am I paying you $10 million over the course of like 5 years. I don't know how much. I know they were getting like they definitely got over a million, right? In their new
Yeah,
deal.
no, they had a new 5-year deal, a good 5-year deal, and then
Yeah,
they
and so it's like there's just like I have to put Penta on, I have to put Dom, I have to put all these other people. There's no room for you. We can find room, but you have to take a pay cut. And I think the death of the house shows are going to lead to a lot of problems. Drew McIntyre said something in an interview, and I thought, why would you say this out loud? He goes, I basically wrestle one match every few months. I'm like a UFC fighter. And if I'm the head, if I'm a corporate piece of shit, I'll pull you in a room like, okay, you were getting paid this much in 2019 because you were wrestling 3 times a week. Why the fuck am I going to give you a raise in 2026? You're wrestling once every few months. You
yeah,
don't ultimately, and I don't mean to be a dick, if they fire Drew McIntyre, it's not going to make me stop watching. And if they keep him, it's not going to make me keep watching. Like, I'm talking as a fan for me.
yeah,
So there's no reason to give this guy millions upon millions of dollars. He's going to have one match every 2 to 3 months. There's just no reason. But that sucks for the wrestlers. And
yeah,
I think house shows are a necessary evil. I don't think you get Austin. I don't think you get The Rock. I don't. The Rock is not making the improvements he's made from January to September if he's not on the road every fucking week. I'm sure there's house shows where The Rock does shit. You're like, what the fuck was that? But
hmm,
he's trying it out because no one's watching. We have no footage of it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And also, The Rock is justifying his pay. And I just think like this death of house show thing is going to really hurt the wrestlers. I think it's a necessary evil. I don't know.
yeah. I know Cody Rhodes wanted some type of balance. He's been pushing for the house shows. They just don't want to do them. They don't want to spend the money on them. I know they do them internationally, but like a guard the end of the year Garden house show is was perfect. I mean, it was almost like a reunion because comics would be there, other friends would be there.
Yeah.
Just everybody would just go. Tickets used to be as low as $25. That's something you'll never hear again. People would just go and just see the wrestling fucking around, have a good time, and try stuff out. You know how many times I've seen John Cena versus Kane in like the span of like 2 months just to see them, whatever they eventually do on TV. Like, it was just something that was done and it helped the younger talent. It helped, like you said, The Rock, Stone Cold, things like that. We don't get that anymore. You get Raw. Sol Ruka's a good example. Sol Ruka just messed up her Soul Snatcher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which it wasn't even that bad. It was like quick, but then everybody's all over it because it's the internet and that's what we do now. But like maybe if she was able to do more house shows, get used to the. I don't think the NXT and Raw rings are the same. I could be wrong, but get used to the Raw ring. That would not have happened, and you wouldn't have to deal with stuff like that. But that's just not what it seems like. It seems like everything is just about cost cutting, cost cutting, cost cutting, which if that means they're gonna sell to somebody later, I don't, it's no concern to me personally, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's just very soulless. I think Kevin Nash said the weekend felt soulless too. One of the Hall of Famers said it felt like a soulless weekend, and I think it comes across for a longtime fan. If you're 7 years old and you're watching Jacob Fatu Roman Reigns, you don't care. It's what's on TV. But for us who have been watching for years, like it just feels different. It doesn't feel exciting. I think it's bleeding over into the show when you're watching it and you're just like, oh,
Um, I
for
was
WWE at least.
the only time WrestleMania weekend felt special. I'm talking about across everything, the indie shows, the Hall of Fame, everything, was CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, and I think that mainly to do with CM Punk. Basically, I'm going to will a WrestleMania moment out of here. And let me tell you something. I hate to say this, CM Punk. It's not going to last because there's no more DVDs. It's stuck on the ESPN app, and they've already changed. They already took out Misera Canta from the replays. It's
Yeah,
now,
it's on YouTube. Yeah.
and it's not going to last the way it used to. You know, it, it's just you killed yourself. No one's going to remember. I hate to say this because of their business practice. No one's going to remember this match the way that we remember Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, and the way we remember Austin, Bret Hart. So kudos to you, CM Punk, for making the weekend feel special for like an hour. but you're doing it for awful human beings. I mean, across the board, everyone's awful. I mean, how bad is it, dude? People are not students of history. People are so like the funny thing to me about AEW fans is they have like WWE brain rot. They don't even realize it. But what I mean by that is people were talking about how great Ted Turner was, what a great guy he was. People hated Ted Turner in the '80s because what he was doing, he was like butchering classic films with the colorization. He like bought all these movies to basically he wanted to edit them. He wanted to do this. People did not like Ted Turner in the
There
'80s.
was
They
an
thought he was
episode of The
like,
Critic about it. I mean,
yeah,
Duke
and then
Phillips
now
was the base off of Ted Turner.
it's like, oh well, because he approved Nitro, he's a great guy, and it's like, dude, like I don't know, it's like this whole like let's praise a billionaire, and then I don't know, last night the Ted Turner tribute was so weird to me. I mean, I definitely think Ted Turner should have a tribute, but the way they went overboard with it, I'm sorry. I know he said what he said. I know he said what he said in his bedroom. But the way they went overboard with the Ted Turner tribute and Hulk Hogan got like, oh yeah, he's dead. Hulk Hogan did more. The reason why Ted Turner bought fucking WCW is because of the shit that Hulk Hogan did. All right, he's like, hey, I might be able to do that shit with this company. Look what Hulk Hogan's doing on the other channel. And fucking Hulk Hogan, if Hulk Hogan and fucking Randy Savage are wrestling in fucking outhouses, they would not have bought WCW. Anyway, so like, but like the whole thing, and then they said, well, Tony Khan is just as great as Ted Turner. It's like, all right, can you imagine if like I don't know, if someone died in the '90s and they were like, oh, I'm just so glad that Vince is here to take his place. Like it's weird. It's weird. You don't have to mention Tony Khan in a tribute to Ted Turner. Everyone's so fucking weird.
It's a lot of parasocial relationships. I didn't get to see the tribute yet. I've been watching well watching this and then I've been watching more of the Netflix 28. I'm behind. I already know everything that happened, but I'm just kind of
But
watching that at my own pace. But I know that yeah, people were really into Ted Turner, at least online. They were about
yeah,
that and the Cartoon Network and him being an environmentalist. And he's a billionaire, so he has a whole bunch of other skeletons that are also very, very not pro whatever they believe.
yeah,
But that's not what people chose to focus on. They were just like, and then people were just like, WCW would have won if this happened, blah 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 blah.
no.
Guys, let it go. It's here. If WCW would have won, it would have been here. It's not here, so that's why. But
But the
I don't
problem,
know. I think people think they know, no matter who it is, they think they know the person. There's just a lot of weird parasocial relationships, especially I want to say with wrestling fans on at least Twitter, so Blue Sky.
oh, Blue
Instagram,
Sky,
I think is a Wild West.
Blue Sky wrestling fans are completely insane. They're completely, they just constantly. You know what the weirdest thing about them is that if you want to feel like I am such a good person because I watch AEW and WWE, that's fine. Some of these guys write that every single day. They pat themselves in the back and like, how about this? You want to be a really good person? Don't watch any wrestling at all. Don't engage in any pro wrestling at all. If you want to fucking give yourself sainthood, because ultimately there's a fucking piece of shit on your wrestling show that you watch and you probably don't even know who it is. It's probably the person you don't think it is. And I'm talking about AEW, TNA, New Japan, WWE. There's someone who is completely evil in that ring every single week. You have no idea who it is.
Yeah,
And the
yep.
person you think it is, isn't it? You get what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. I mean, we don't know these people. You see
Mhm.
these people for 10 to 15, 20 to 30 in AEW a week.
Yeah.
That you don't know them unless you know them personally. You're hanging out with them, but you don't know them. So why when Adam Page is with Marty Scurll or Chelsea Green is engaging with Marty Scurll, it shocks these people so much. We don't know them. We don't
We
know
don't know.
them. And if you want to the morals and if that's enough for you, then don't watch any of it. It really is, but that can go with anything. Like if you're moral about that, don't watch The Boys on Amazon because Amazon is a terrible company. Like you
Well, I
gotta,
don't watch the points on Amazon, so I
no,
don't.
you're fine. You're not, you can,
Well,
but I mean, I don't care. But it's yeah, it's just people
just
like to pick and choose, and they're always gonna pick and choose.
if you prefer AEW to WWE, that's fine. If you think WWE is a piece of shit company, that's fine. I don't do this whole like moral. And it's all on Blue Sky. I'm such a great person because I watched AEW. Like, shut up. Like, shut up. Like,
I don't look on there that often.
oh, it's awful. The other thing, shit, I had some other point about WCW. So like Guy Evans wrote two books, and I got to get these books. Nitro, and Beyond Nitro, where he really
Hmm.
got a hold of the record.
Hmm.
And basically, WCW was screwed no matter what happens with WWF. Vince McMahon could have been arrested for multiple murders in 1997. WCW is still screwed. The reason being is that they were doing creative accounting with WCW. They
Yeah.
were not reporting all the money WCW made. They were trying to make WCW look bad. There were executives that did not want WCW on the network, no matter what. There were people that were livid that that was their number one show. They wanted it gone. So this is what would have happened. Vince McMahon is Rita Chatterton provides proof, and he goes to jail in 1996, and the
Hmm.
company collapses and goes out of business. Here's what's going to happen. That has no effect on the people in Turner that want WCW gone. They're eventually
Yeah.
going to get their way. It's not Vince is in jail for life for his fucking horrendous sex crimes, and WCW and John Cena and fucking Chris Benoit have Iron Man matches at full brawl. That's not how it goes. What would probably happen is wrestling as a whole is very niche because they were gonna people were trying to and the guy who wrote the book and had all this evidence and gets a hold of the accounting. Conrad Thompson asked him, "Have you ever had a have you ever had a conversation with Dave Meltzer? Has Dave Meltzer read the books?" And he's like, "No." He goes, "Because Dave Meltzer likes to keep his narrative going, and a lot of fans believe this narrative that if WCW was just better than WWF, they could have stayed in business." Now, and he says the same thing. Now, don't get me wrong. If they had a great booker in 2000 and they were putting on great matches, would that have helped? 110%. But there are certain people that don't want wrestling on the TNT, TBS networks that were going to get their way because this merger was happening, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
And
yeah. I mean, that was one of the problems that Eric Bischoff didn't get it back because TNT, Warner, they were done. They were done with WCW as a whole.
yeah,
So whatever insider information Vince McMahon got, he was able to buy it for very, very cheap. Cheap for him, not cheap for me. But yeah, they did. They were just done. They were done with wrestling. They did not want it, and that would have really, really sucked to see WCW in a situation like that. If they were like on top or at least close to being on top, and then all of a sudden they're not on anything because even back then, I don't know where they would go. NBC, Fox, it would be hard. It would be much harder than it is now. I mean, if the rumors are believed, AEW might be in a similar situation, based off of what's going on with Warner and Paramount. And I don't want this. I'm not willing this. I don't want this at all. But it's just something to be very careful about. And hopefully they have a backup plan. If this is to believe, hopefully there's a plan for them or a network that would actually air them. But I don't know
yeah,
what network that would be.
yeah, yeah, and I haven't watched. I liked Darby Allin's win. I haven't watched since then. Nothing about it compels me, but I also say nothing about WWE compels me. I think they got to get the belt off Roman right away. This whole
I
like,
think oh yeah, we're not even doing a backlash preview. Not that there's much to preview, but I
uh,
think that would be very shocking and a good way to keep this going. If Roman loses the title after 1 month, I know people don't like the hot shot, um, the I forgot what they call it when the title hot potato booking, whatever they call it. But if you want to be so like UFC, quote unquote, Roman Reigns fucking loses the first month out, and you're like, oh shit, okay, we're gonna have a different summer going. That's great. It's gonna be a little different, especially if he's gonna be gone in a month. Like he's gonna be gone for June. So he does that. Maybe Jacob Squad Fatu beats him again. And look, the Usos are forced to fall in line with, and then I don't know, just makes things more compelling because I don't know what you do with Roman Reigns if he's doing the same thing that he was doing last year. I mean, like 5 years ago.
this is this is to me is like if in 2007 they just had Evolution get back together. Triple H was cutting the same promos. to like Triple H was telling like fucking Booker T, "You're beneath me" again, with Randy Orton and Batista standing there after all they went through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
And
did. They would do those for one night only. I remember that the Raw 15, I was at that, and Triple H and Batista were friends again, and Ric Flair was with them, and Randy Orton was like, "No, I'm gonna be with Rated RKO because fuck you guys." I was like, well, at least he's honest there.
well, look, that's one night only. They're all friends. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I
Saying
know.
I'm saying that like they're literally back together, and Triple H is cut like in 2007. And Triple H is cutting the promos he cut in 2003.
Yeah,
I saw a clip of Roman telling Jacob he's beneath me and this, that, and the third on last, and I'm like, no, this is just a rehash of 2021. I have no interest in it, and I have no interest in Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso just standing there again. It's like this is just a re. Why do I'm gonna get a year of Roman Reigns telling everybody that they're beneath him? I don't want to see that shit. It's done. Like this guy's got to evolve
yeah.
as a character.
No, I think they have and I don't think they're ever gonna actually solve it, but Roman Reigns has never really atoned for anything that he did. I think they have Seth Rollins trying to atone, so you can't do two atoned storylines at the same time. But if Roman Reigns got his comeuppance quickly, I think that would make just more compelling television because there's no real enjoyment right now in watching anything that the show is doing, no matter top to bottom. Finn Balor's in Judgment Day limbo. I don't know what who's Liv Morgan's facing. Stephanie McCure's hurt. They're trying to turn Roxanne Perez, it seems like slowly but surely. So the Judgment Day's still hanging on. I think they're gonna get the year four at some point together. What else is going? JC James, right? To me, the fatal influence is the most interesting part. But if they're fighting a team like Charlotte, Alexa, and Rhea, it's only a matter of time. Unless you're taking the title off Rhea, which they aren't. It's only a matter of time before they get squashed. Ricky Saints lost his first match and came out to crickets, and that's no disrespect to him. It's just the crowd did not really buy into him. Gunther's fighting
Yeah,
Cody, like it's just, I don't know. Somebody's enjoying it. I'm not.
yeah, it's I haven't had any reason to watch it. You know,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. It could be dog shit for the rest of the year, but I'll still probably tune in for the Rumble and Mania because Mania is Mania. But like, yeah, man,
Ola
it,
fought Otis, and people were already starting to turn on him because he was a little wobbly trying to pick up a fucking 400-pound guy.
I mean, they don't their idea. This is Triple H's booking plan. You saw with AJ Lee. I'm gonna bring the AJ Lee back, and she's gonna wrestle at WrestleMania. And you're like, okay, well, what happens between then? Well, she'll just go away until it's time for WrestleMania, and she'll just sit at home, and then she'll no create a compelling story, get her on every show. Like, let's see what she's got, and they really didn't do that with the AJ Lee, and I think people saw through it. I saw through it right away. I was like, oh, she's just gonna vanish until it's time to do the WrestleMania blow off, and that's what they did because
Yeah,
they have
no,
no idea how to keep this interesting.
yeah, no, there was no real reason for her to like come back, I think, and cost Becky the title. I don't think it was before or after War Games. I can't remember. But they just kept this feud going for 6 months barely, and now she's gone again. Maybe she'll come back, but it was a very under. Besides a match with like Bailey, it was a very underwhelming run. And I don't know if that's a combination of WWE and her just not wanting to go that hard in the ring, but I know she's got a bunch of other things that she's doing, which is great, but it's not fun. It's not the watch. Like I don't like I know Drew McIntyre said that once this fucking microphone. Once
Drew
every
McIntyre.
Yeah, he said once every 3 weeks. My microphone is messing. And once every 3 weeks, 3 months, he's wrestling, and I don't like that. I want to like I was saying before, I want to see like Cody and Fraxium teaming up. Like
Yeah.
this is like how are you gonna get these people invested in other wrestlers if they're just seen as like popcorn people? Like there's no reason that we couldn't have a Johnny Gargano versus I think I said this last week, except unless the ratings took a giant nosedive. But like you can make these people important. I'm not asking for the Attitude Era to be back, but I liked that these people connected with each other
Yeah.
and you cared if it was Stone Cold versus Eddie Guerrero, which I think only happened once. So like The Rock versus the Radicals was not weird. Triple H versus Taka Michinoku wasn't even that weird. You were like, oh, cool, this is different. And like, even though you knew Triple H was gonna win, it still was like somewhat compelling and like a good match. You just have these people don't wrestle anymore, and in your main events, Damian Priest and R-Truth against MFT, and like who wants to see that? Who wants to see
Yeah,
that? Like
yeah.
it's just
It's it feels like a very it feels like a very creative bankrupt company, but it also it's like it's just there's if you're only going to be 2 hours a week Raw SmackDown and there's no other shows, there's no other opportunity for these guys to do anything until the pay-per-views. There's no need for a lot of these guys. There's no need to pay a lot of these people, and it
yeah,
sucks.
that was their justification.
But it sucks, and like you'd be like, well, you shouldn't, and it's like, okay, that's not how a successful business is run. If Kofi Kingston is going to sit in catering for most of the year, um, you should pay him less. I don't know what to tell you, and it's like it sucks, but it's like that's just the way it is. And Tony Khan, like everyone wants Tony Khan to take everybody. He doesn't have the TV time.
No, there's no room. Yeah, I mean, I think the New Day is definitely gonna be there. You may see a one-off of a Kyrie Zane, um, depending on if the Forbidden Door. I don't know when all these 90-day stuff. I think they're gonna miss Forbidden Door, but the like it's
There's
just
room, but you have to fire people. You
yeah. I mean, he doesn't fire people to his credit. Tony Khan rarely releases anybody.
no,
They just pay you money to sit at home and then you leave and like
but I
it's
would get like I would take like six people off the show to make room for the New Day if I knew the New Day was coming in.
oh that they do all the time. Like I would, I mean, and this is just off the top of my head, Ring of Honor is pretty dead. I wouldn't put the New Day on Ring of Honor, but if you were telling sponsors, hey, I can get these people and make Ring of Honor like something awesome, uh maybe it'll get on TV somewhere. Maybe it'll get on a Paramount Plus. Maybe
Tell
it'll get
me,
on a Pluto TV. But who am I? Who am I? Who? I don't make these decisions. I don't make
hey, the
these
New Day,
decisions.
you guys get to be on Pluto TV. Thank God for that.
Where's what's left? They can't go to NBC. Fox, I think, is done with wrestling for now. Um, CW is locked in. That's another thing. Now ESPN Plus, CW, all NXT pay-per-views are going to be on the CW and ESPN Plus.
There's no other
So,
pay-per-view. Just
so
so you know,
more ads. That's fun.
just so you know, if we get to today, we're not covering once the NXT pay-per-views go to the CW channel, we're not covering them. So
Oh yeah, were we covering them before?
we were gonna yes, the network specials are gonna be covered if we get to 2014. Yes.
Okay.
It's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
pay-
yeah. I was like, I didn't know we were covering them before.
yeah.
Yeah, but the
I mean, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
we're far from it.
Yeah.
ABC's not picking up oh well they can't because they have ESPN, so they wouldn't pick up AEW or Ring of Honor anywhere. So Pluto TV, Paramount's their best option unless
Mhm.
yeah, because Roku has something with WWE. I don't know. This not again, these are not my concerns.
No, they're not our concerns. But I'll tell you what is our concern. Breakdown 98, back when people got paid and people wrestled. Um, this is a weird show. So here's the thing. I didn't like this pay-per-view when I was younger. Still don't like it that much. This is an era where the pay-per-views are basically pre-shows for a really great episode of Raw. The next episode of Raw is fucking amazing. This is the one where Steve Austin drives into the Zamboni, jumps off it, attacks McMahon, The Undertaker and Kane beat up McMahon.
Hmm.
It's a movie. That's the one thing you can say is like Vince Russo and Vince McMahon together knew how to make Raws like movies because Steve Austin driving that Zamboni in and jumping off was like a movie. It was like an action. It was like seeing like Jean Claude Van Damme or John McClane. And this pay per view sets up that Raw. And there's another Raw after Judgment Day, the day after Judgment Day. That's another incredible Raw. Like just gripping 2 hours of TV. They don't do that anymore, but it's to the detriment of this pay per view and also to the October pay per view. Overall, what'd you think of this show?
It was all right. There's some matches I thought were fine, like Owen Hart and Edge. course. Can't really go wrong with that. Bradshaw and Vader was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
The cage match, which got a lot of time. I was shocked. I was like, this is like a no mercy cage match. It's like you play it in the game. So I was like, this is a real match. I genuinely enjoyed that. The main event was fine. Something that like drew me off guard, and this is gonna come back to what we were talking before. They talked about trying to have Austin fight Mark Henry on Heat. And I think pre-shows and main event, I think the wrestlers themselves don't really like doing main event. If there was a way to like not condition fans to not give a shit about pre-shows, I mean, it's kind of like what they're trying to do with Zero Hour. You could
Mhm.
have a lot of fun with these things. You could, because there was a time where Heat was important. Heat was
Oh,
very important. And we have 8 hour pre-shows anyway. Let people into the fucking building in time, and maybe this is where you get this match, Oscar Io. And like I know that sounds blasphemous, but if it didn't feel like a demotion, it wouldn't be a problem. But you guys make that main event, not you guys, but whoever's in charge makes that or main event seem like a demotion when you can actually have a damn good show out of it. But I don't know. They again,
from
I'm
SummerSlam
fine.
98 SummerSlam 98 to Fully Loaded 99, the Heat pre-shows were really fucking good. They had a lot of matches. I consider them the first hour of the pay-per-view. They had a lot of
Yeah,
crazy angles, and they stopped doing that. And in fact, if this was like a few years ago, let's say we were doing this in 2018, I would have said we have to watch the Heat and then the pay-per-view, and we're going to cover
yeah.
all because it basically is like a part of the pay-per-view. The Heats are gone because TKO is just such a great company. Um, so
That's sorry, we were talking this before. Club WWE, which they're trying to get more money out of you. They don't even have the fucking archives on there. Like, not that that was a plan, but it's all like, oh, get your tickets first, spend points to get more like exclusive shirts. I would join. I think we said it before. I would join Club WWE since it's Club WWE. If there was a place where I could just watch old stuff again, but
full unlimited commercial free archives. I'm a member of Club WWE.
yeah, but no, it's all about gouging more tickets and
Well,
it's just a headache anyway.
I mean, the crazy thing is like that old footage would get so many people in. It's so fucking crazy. Like they there's so many ways they can get money out of me, and they're not doing it. They're doing it in ways that only appeal to like the green shirt guy. Has no appeal to me. Like they're like you don't understand. Like I think you probably if you did like raw box sets, I'm talking like I could go to Best Buy and get like all the 93 Raws on DVD or Blu-ray. And if you did stuff like fucking if you put out like at Target, you put out Jesse Ventura t-shirts, right? The
Hmm.
amount of money that you would get from my stupid fucking ass would probably be more than what you're getting on some of these fucking whales. Like you've cut off all the revenue streams that I want. If you like re-release No Mercy and did downloadable content, if you fucking put out a collection of all like the Game Boy games, if you put out like all of this goofy shit, I would just throw money at you. I couldn't help myself, and you don't do any of
Yeah.
it.
No, they want new money. They don't want old money, which is us.
But
Even I know they re-released the WrestleFest, but they had to take out like the Legion of Doom or something like stupid
for
like
what
that.
else? They put out Legion of Doom, Sergeant Slaughter, and somebody else like major.
Yeah. And
The
I'm like,
game.
well, what's the fucking point of the game? Legion of Doom were the bosses of the game. Who are the bosses of the game in the new WrestleFest if you don't face the Legion of Doom?
But they do it anyway because and the weirdest thing about that machine, they did not promote it on WWE TV. They did not promote it in WWE like social media. It just kind of came out and like was like because they probably knew it was a bad idea, but they just want the money anyway. So
Yeah, so they knew somebody was gonna buy it, and it's still up. I'm not buying it. There's no one in the fucking game.
so
Look how half the wrestlers. There's already like 8 wrestlers in the game already. Whatever.
oh, good. So this opening pay per view video is very very funny. It is to this man is an evil dictator, and they try to like use all these leaders from the past. However, what the funniest thing is, while with Mussolini and Hitler and all these people, they put in Martin Luther King. And
Hmm.
I kind of feel like this is because Vince is an admirer of Dr. King. He loves Dr. King, thinks he's the greatest. Um, but I think Vince sees him as a leader. This is my thing with Vince's love for Martin Luther King. I don't think he's ever read Martin Luther King's books. I think he sees Martin Luther King as his leader, as this guy who got things done, and he admires that. He admires the leadership. So he's putting Martin Luther King with Stalin and Mussolini, and he's like, "No, we all are people who got things done." And Martin Luther King got things done. And it's like, well, he did, but like he's not like I think he thinks Martin Luther King's the type of guy if he was still alive would like drive WCW out of business for civil rights, which he might, but I don't think that would be like his
I mean, he would definitely be guest hosting a Raw if it was up to Vince McMahon.
commissioner. So it's admirable that he loves Martin Luther King, but I don't think he gets it. So Martin Luther King is in the video "I Have a Dream," and it's like I have a dream too, uh, to destroy Stone Cold Steve Austin, and just like you stopped at nothing to get your dream of equality, I will take inspiration from you to follow my dream of taking the McMahon's WWE title. I don't know. It's a very funny video. It look, fucking TKO now would probably charge Martin Luther King, just to like look at AJ Styles. So it's admirable that Vince loves Martin Luther King. What do you think of this video package?
It's a very weird video. I don't understand. I like his love for Dr. King is one of the most fascinating things about him. Because there was a Kaz who does he's on 7 p.m. to midnight in the Ringer podcast. He used to write for WWE for a bit. And one of the things he remembers is when they showed the Martin Luther King vignette, which they do every year. And then after one of the times, Vince McMahon just stands up in Gorilla and tells everyone, clap, damn it. And starts clapping very loud after watching that. So I don't think he's read any books. I don't think he's gone as far as besides the first page of the first few lines of the I Have a Dream speech. I don't know. Maybe it's the alleged infidelity that he likes. I
I,
generally
I think he thinks that Martin Luther King was ruthless. I think he sees what Martin Luther King did as ruthlessness and as doing anything it takes to get something done. I think that's how he sees Martin Luther King. I don't think
uh,
Martin Luther King would describe himself as ruthless, but I think he thinks
no.
you're ruthless in your pursuit, and you've got equality because
I think he also like he just in his weird way that he thinks that he's like a good ally this way. Like there's the episode of The Simpsons where Bret Hart is on it, where Lisa and Mr. Burns actually work together, and then Mr. Burns gets the idea to make like a fish slop. It's a word that's been ruined nowadays by using the hooks that like the hooks on soda cans
mm-hmm.
that fish used to get
Yeah,
trapped
yeah.
in. Yeah, and then he just sweeps the sea clean, and he thinks like that's a good idea. I think that's how Vince McMahon thinks how he is with almost anything, and that's how he feels like, oh yeah, no, I'm being an ally, putting Martin Luther King in with these leaders, and you're like, no, this is just as bad. Please don't do this. But knowing everything that we know about Vince and his love of Dr. King, this is absolutely hilarious. This
Yeah.
video package.
I forgot that Martin Luther King's in this package, and it's like it's really funny when he shows up, and
It's
it's like, oh, have
so
a dream, and it's like, why you just kind of like soldiers walking through Nazi.
yeah, it's really something that would kill people today if they saw it. They would just have a heart attack. I'm surprised it's not taken off of the network, off of
Sometimes
Netflix.
sometimes I like the fact that like in the old days you didn't have like this miserable discourse, and we're saying it's weird, but we're laughing at it because I don't think it comes from I think Martin Luther King was a Nazi place, right?
No, I don't think that at all.
I think it comes from a place where although I really admire this guy, but just the discourse of people like calling him racist and a piece of shit, and he is. But I'm just saying like just like the fucking hand wailing and I remember like when Cody Rhodes called himself Raheem. Gabe
Oh yeah,
made 75 fucking blue sky tweets about it. And it's like, bro, like most people don't care that he did that. Like
I
this
didn't care. It was stupid, but I'm not.
fucking thing. Some just can we just let some of these people be weird? Can we just let
Yeah,
people like weird? Like, okay, you think you put Martin Luther King in a video with Mussolini, whatever. Okay, you're strange. You're a strange guy. Okay, just where's Austin? You know?
yeah, and it's Vince McMahon. You know that he's already fucking weird. So you're like, all right, this is just kind of out there. Time to move on, in my opinion. It's not something that's he's got a lot worse things to focus on if you
Oh
want to
yeah, but
focus
no,
on something about Vince McMahon. But yeah.
would focus. If they did this video, they should do this video package for Backlash. People would focus on this.
Oh my God, that would be
Oh,
the whole, just
Jordan will
show
start a
old,
whole novel about it.
just show old ads about for instead of the actual ads, show the old videos.
Just show this video. Yeah, just show this video over and over again, but like put Triple H in instead of Vince. Okay.
Oh my God.
I have a
At back, oh,
dream.
that's the thing that people are loving right now. At Backlash is
Oh
the
man.
big meme. Will they do that act back? You've seen that, right?
Yeah, the Danhausen really made that funny.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
people, yeah, love the Triple H the way he says it. As
Oh gosh. Like, all right.
they've been running it to the ground.
All right, here we go. The first match. And what's depressing about this, and I might be wrong because I can't remember Capital Combat. This is the last singles pay-per-view match Owen Hart ever has. The rest are tag
Mm,
matches and Royal Rumbles, and then he dies. It's Edge versus Owen Hart. A lot of heat for this. This is a terrific opportunity for Edge. Not a lot of young superstars get this opportunity anymore. Um, and it's pretty good. It's not the greatest. Owen is trying. Owen's trying to make this fucking guy. Edge has gotta Edge has gotta give all the love to Owen, and I'm sure he does. But Owen Hart is really trying to help this guy out. Edge does get attacked by Christian, who we don't know is Christian yet. It's a mysterious
yeah.
man. Owen Hart wins. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Owen Hart had a lot of heat, and it's very interesting that they already. I mean, this is a featured place for Edge. He's only been here 2 months. I think it's pretty interesting that they already are behind him like this. What do you think?
Yeah, no, they had a lot of good plans for Edge, even from the jump. So to put him with Owen Hart, somebody just kind of helping get his feet wet and like help him be more of a sound wrestler. I thought it was good. It was a good match, not like a crazy great match, but a good test for him. Damian Christian, as we know, is the beginning of a very, very long tenure for them that is still going to this day. I had no problems with this match. This is a match that, like, if you told me on a trivia card that this match happened, probably would not have believed you, but it happened. And what I did not know is I can't believe that's Owen Hart's last pay-per-view singles match, which is very unfortunate. But you're kind of scrolling through it now. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
It's No, it was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing these two wrestle, just seeing Owen do his thing. And I don't know if this, well, they have a Steve Blackman one here. I don't know if this is on the dark match. It might have been the
yeah.
dark.
I think he has like a rock bottom. He wrestles like on the pre-show.
Yeah, but whatever. But
That,
yeah. Yeah, no
yeah.
one cares. But yeah, it was cool. It was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, and dude, Owen Hart was only 33, and it just occurs to me he could have been wrestling at SummerSlam 2018.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, yeah, he could have had he could have been a lot of Royal Rumble surprises, especially if he still planned to retire early. Could have been a lot of
I,
Royal Rumble surprises. Could have been.
my thing with him is I think when the Radicals came over, he would have gotten revitalized. He would have got revitalized with Kurt Angle. He would have got revitalized with Chris Jericho and the Radicals, and he would have stuck around. I think that the wife plays up him leaving because of what happened, which is fine.
Yeah.
But he would have nobody. Everyone says they're going to leave and they don't leave. Dude, Jericho said in Pro Wrestling Illustrated 1998 that he didn't want to wind up like the older guys in WCW that he'd be, and now he's older than Hulk Hogan. They all
Oh
say
man.
they
I
all
wonder
say
if
that.
TKO lowballed him and that's why he didn't come back. Maybe they were like, "Hey, we're gonna give you a 50% pay cut already before you even sign. Here's our original contract. Here's the new contract." And he went back to that bald
Yeah,
storyline that he's doing right now. No, yeah, no, he could have had a really good career. I mean, there's a world where, and this sounds crazy saying it now, Owen's having a good run in WWE, Bret Hart's having a miserable run in WCW. Some type of conversation happens because Bret does not want to end his career in WCW, and you're
well,
seeing Bret Hart back in the WWF.
Brett
Like,
doesn't get injured. Brett doesn't get injured, and Brett's back in WWF if Owen doesn't die.
yeah, there's a
That's
world out there
the
where
way, that's
that
the
is a
way.
possibility,
Yeah,
especially with
because
Austin on top, Rock on top, Triple H.
yeah, and I think Owen would have went through a transformation like Triple H did.
That's the
Uh,
rumor that the game was Owen's gimmick first, and then they gave it to Triple H.
Well, I think Owen would have got like a more serious presentation. Like it would have been like an alter, and I think it would have been inspired by the Kurt Angles and the Benoit and everything. I think it would have been
Hmm.
a because he's still young at 33. It would have been a different presentation. Like I think he would have had an evolution in 99 to two. I think the blue blazer when that's
Yeah,
over, he becomes something else. And
yeah.
unfortunately, he did become something else.
Well, we got it. You didn't gotta. You
Like,
didn't have to say it.
hey, listen. Speaking of weird things that I forgot happened, it is Too Much versus Al Snow and Scorpio. I guess this feud is still going from King of the Ring, but now it's been saved by Too Cold Scorpio. This is an okay match. This is the thing about these pay-per-views. They still don't have the roster to. They really don't have the roster to do 3 hour pay-per-views, but they're trying, and you're seeing guys get longer matches that would not have gotten them in previous years or future years, and this is one of them. It's okay. I think Scorpio adds a lot. I think Scorpio holds out the match. You know, Al Snow's not hitting like I think they thought he would, but they're also putting him in places where he's just not going to hit. What did you think of this match?
It was okay. It was just there. No, it was nice to see Scorpio, of course. It's crazy how much, too cool, how long of a team they were before they actually hit Too Cool. They were this group for at least 3 years before Too Cool became the Too Cool that everyone actually liked. I wonder if that group would get over in 2026 or they would just get canceled immediately for being two white guys that are really into hip hop. But no, it was it's just kind of both Al Snow and Scorpio. There's really just not a good place for them. You know, Tuco Scorpio's a fantastic wrestler, but he just was never really put in those positions in the WWE to be the Tuco Scorpio that everyone knows and loves. And Al Snow, yeah, that whatever momentum he had in ECW did not transfer over. So he's just kind of in the middle of the card doing this.
Yeah. You know what's funny, bro? How many? Because Too Cool was a great idea. Look at how many great ideas are we now like? Oh, we don't know if that would have because Twitter would have been upset. I think I'm gonna say it. I think one of the things that has hurt wrestling is the vocal fans on Twitter, Blue Sky, and social media, because it's like, yeah, people would have been like, this is appropriation and write speeches, and it would have gave them cold feet. And it's like if you just plow ahead, people are gonna be into it. I also think yeah, like this I think social media has also hurt wrestling because it hurts people from taking chances, weird chances that
Yeah,
used to
no, there's an instant the good examples. I mean, I'm glad she's sticking with it at least right now. I don't watch Evolve, but the anime girl, there's some girl, I don't know her name, but she's a anime
yeah,
fan.
I know you're talking about the anime
Yeah,
chick
she
with
was like out of the manga pages and into the ring, which is like something you would see on like Superstars in like 95. And people eviscerated it. You would have thought that she said like Hail Hitler with the way they were what they were asking. Like it was corny, it's cheesy, it's cringe, sure. But let her figure out the character. I don't know. Let her figure out the damn character first. It was one promo. And you would have, yeah, you would have thought she shot somebody with the way they were reacting. So it's very, very hard to try almost anything
yeah.
in this world of social media unless it's something that they already, fans really already approve of. But yeah, Too Cool would not have made it. They would never have made it.
Oh, there's a lot of things that would have made it. I mean,
Ed would not have made it.
who wouldn't have made it? You know who they would have abandoned it before he walked out is Kane. The minute that Paul Bearer is like, I have an affair with your mom or something on TV, oh, what is this? Oh no, this is trivializing cheating or something. This, Paul Bear is now is a sexual assaulter or some shit. Like and they would have got cold feet and they would have been like, Kane actually did die in the fire, and we're taking Paul Bear off the road, and Undertaker's going
That,
to Mark Merrow at WrestleMania. So
oh my God, no. I mean, congratulations, Mark, but
it's just they would have got cold feet because people would have been like upset that like they went somewhere dark but not showing it on camera. I don't know. I feel like that because I also when I heard the opening part of the story was like, oh, this is dumb. But they stuck with it and they got 20 years. That I don't think they would have.
yeah. No, it's definitely a lot more vocal, and it's just the way the pages are, and everybody, well, they're getting their asses kicked now, the content creators, but everybody is a content creator because something happens and they're like everyone turns into Jonah Jameson and they're just like, well, look what the WWE is doing now. And you're just like,
Your
it's really
heel.
not that. It's
Yeah.
really not that important. And then sometimes it works in your favor, for at least for Cody Rhodes. Like it worked out with him, unless that was the plan the entire time with the Cody crybabies and all the anger with The Rock and all that. But most of the time, or Daniel Bryan, I guess as well, if everything is to be believed. But most of the time, it's people just very, very angry, and then they have the weekend. This is what I've been seeing more of. They have the weekend to sit with it. It's like you got in trouble and like you needed to go back to school Monday. You got in trouble Friday, and then like you were grounded, and your parents are just gonna hound you all weekend until Monday, and you're just like, oh my God, I can't fucking wait to
Oh yeah.
do something new.
Yeah.
Because and that's a lot of things, especially like if something happens on SmackDown, forget about it. It's the
Oh,
whole weekend of
I
somebody
think
just
that's a
tearing
compound
something
the
apart.
backlash against against what's her name, our best friend, what's his name, Pat McCaffrey, because people sat on it for a weekend,
Oh
and
yeah.
rather than being like, you know, let's just see what happens on Monday. They like went on and on and on and on and on for
Yeah.
even I was like, was all right, just it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Look, I didn't like it either, but like yeah, it was everything that I saw was Pat McAfee. Somebody angry about it, somebody comparing this, somebody doing that. And the negativity now is rewarded on social media. Some people are just doing this for the money. Some people are just doing it for the clicks. Because I'll see it sometimes, and it used to drive me crazy. It still does. Somebody will say something, and then in their second tweet, be like, "Oh, I'm just doing this for the rage bait or whatever." And I'm just like, "Oh, fuck you. You don't even stand on anything. You're just being an asshole to be an asshole." And like, I don't know, man. It's a different world. We're being very curmudgeonly today, so I don't want to. Let's just get back into
It's just because it's like I don't know. It's I enjoy the weirdness of this era, and you know, it is what it
yeah,
is. All right, this is this is just like this is just let's kill some time. And the Johnny B. Bad used to be the king of that in WCW, and he's back doing it. It's Mark Merrill versus Draws.
the bad man.
Uh, hey, listen, Mark Merrill's still hitting shooting star presses at the end of his career. You got to fucking give him that. This was just, I just felt like this was no disrespect to Draws, waste of time. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was just there. I don't really care for it. Draws, he was not with the Legion of Doom yet, right?
He was on and off. He was.
Okay. Yeah, they were figuring that out. I think they just wanted Mark Merrill to do something that didn't have anything to do with Sable, even though Sable was still on the minds of a lot of people. I guess Draws, they said Draws was involved with Sable in some part of this storyline. She didn't come out, but they said it like in commentary. And then again
Yeah,
on the hotline,
he was
Jacqueline
on and off. Yeah.
diving off the ropes, hitting the heels. I don't know, man. This is me being, I guess, pervy, but I guess I gotta give Jacqueline a second look. Like I think I said before, she just reminded me of like someone that my mom would hang out with or like school teachers that I had. So I never looked at her in that way, even when the shit came off on one of the European pay-per-views. I just never looked at her that way, but I've given her flowers here. I mean, she was always a good wrestler and a manager. I always respected that. But like looks department, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I missed something here when I was younger. But she just looked like, I don't know, the woman who's across the street. That's what she looks like to me. And I was like, ah,
Yeah, no, it's sad because it's like without Sable, nobody cares about this guy. But whatever, he did
no,
some.
hey, at least he got his guaranteed money.
Yeah. All right, up next, and this was like a Mandela effect. I feel like the timeline shifted. I don't remember JBL being this clean.
Yeah,
JBL
yeah. It
Bradshaw.
looked, it looked. I was like, wait a minute. This looks like he times he was buff first of all. And yeah, I thought the first time we saw him clean shaven was like 2003, but I
Yeah,
was like, holy
I just
shit.
him having long hair and the Stan Hansen mustache, and
Yeah.
he's clean shaven. But hey, let's talk about this match. So Bradshaw says Vader is the survival of the fittest, not the fattest. So let's just keep burying this guy. But this was a good match. Bradshaw said in his podcast that um, Vader like put together the whole thing to get
Hmm.
him over. The close signs from Hell look great. at the end. Then he hit the Rude Awakening, which I thought was kind of stupid, but I thought Bradshaw looked great. This was an awesome win for him. Vader did him a favor. And it wasn't a bad match. It was a good match. This is it. Actually, Vader's last television match is he loses to Mark Marrow on Raw,
Oh boy.
which I mean, you know, Let me tell you, they were done with that fucking guy. Like, you gotta go lose to fucking Mark Marrow on Raw.
Tell
Um,
that to a WCW fan in '94 that
oh,
Johnny B. Bad was gonna beat
clean,
Big Van Vader.
clean. Like it's
Clean,
not.
yeah.
Um, while he's being his wife's cuck bitch, Vader still loses to the cuck.
Right,
Uh,
right.
I don't. The Rude Awakening was kind of stupid. It was like I don't know. It's like Austin hitting a Stone Cold Stunner, then getting the guy up and doing like a cross, an arm drag, and then pinning him. It's like really.
That's how you
But
win in the video games now.
yeah, but I guess they were trying to like get over a new finish. But I thought it was good. I thought so far, I thought this was the best match on the show up to this point. What do you think?
No, I thought it was a good match, nice hard hitting match. I mean, I guess he just didn't know what to do with Bradshaw for a while. I think if times were a little different, I could see that clean shaven version, Angry Bradshaw, kind of with the corporation. Yeah, we get to JBL eventually, but with the corporation kind of, or somebody to like fight Stone Cold because he looked good. He looked good. And I guess Brawl for All messed him up because Brawl for All is like relatively soon after this, I want to say.
Oh, it already happened. It's over.
It's over?
Yeah,
No, because when does Bart Gunn fight?
right. Bart Gunn wins it right before SummerSlam.
So he just doesn't do shit for like 8 months and then fights. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. That's stupid. I forgot in my head. I thought the Brawl for All was still about to happen. Look at that. Anyway, I guess they just didn't know what to do with Bradshaw at the time. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. It's right there, and Owen and Edge is one of the matches that I was like, okay, these are fine.
that's hilarious. All right. Up
Yeah,
next,
I guess it's yeah, it just kind of fell out of my brain that Bart Gunn did nothing for 8 months, got knocked out, and then got fired. That's
yeah, yeah,
weird,
he did nothing because they didn't want him to win, and instead of capitalizing, they were like, "Who cares?" So,
weird, weird, weird.
Jason Sensation is doing some impressions. He's like one of the funniest, like on the fringe WWE guys because I feel like he was always around. I feel like
Hmm.
he's like one of those guys I feel like is still with the company. I know he's not, but I feel like there's like some weird like international show where he's like doing impressions.
Oh yeah. No, didn't he had a rough time, didn't he? Didn't someone he allegedly something bad happened to him. And then
Yeah,
a couple years ago, almost 10 years ago, I think he like threatened to go to Raw and like kill himself or something like that. And then he just had a really bad go after everything. But for the time, he was so funny. I loved when he did the Owen Hart and he was doing the impressions. I thought it was great. And then they just kind of fell off.
that's hilarious. Jesus.
Not that part. Him getting assaulted and almost dying.
Oh, sorry, that's
That's
not
not
funny.
funny at all.
But listen, he had good impressions, and
Yes.
he was a strange guy. All right, up next. These are so. I was gonna say they don't have the roster for a 3 hour pay per view because they're just putting on like random matches. It's D'Lo Brown versus Gangrel.
Yeah,
Again,
that's a weird one.
yeah, D'Lo though he's on a generational run. He's trying hard. He's trying to be like, please make me the future of your stupid company. Um, but it's an okay match. Mark Henry interferes. Gangrel gets a little bit of revenge. It's weird because both guys are kind of like heels, but they're just having this
Yeah.
match. It's good. It's much for a time waster. It's much better than Mark Merrill versus Ross. What did you think?
I think, oh, sorry, I'm getting a double call. Usually this doesn't happen. Can we pause for like a second?
Yeah. 1 second. So guys, we
Thanks.
will be right with you. Oh, there we go. All right. So what do you think of D'Lo Gangrel?
Weird, weird placement. I think, yeah, it was just kind of a match to have a match. It's almost kind of like when I'm watching Dynamite and they just have, I know this week they had, boy, somebody from like Moxley and Brian Keefe, or it was Okada and Brian Keefe, one of those two. I think it was Okada and Brian Keefe. And you're
Okay. Yeah.
just like, and you're like, why? So it was just kind of, especially if it, well, here these guys have been on TV. But usually, if it's someone you haven't seen in a while, and it's like, all right, he's fighting Okada, like with entrance, cool. So yeah, this match was just kind of there. I don't think they really knew what to do with either person. They kind of both made both people look strong. D'Lo got his win, but then Gangrel did like the mist, so you didn't really think about him losing afterwards. It was just kind of there.
Mhm. Kind of there. Yeah, and I like Gangrel and D'Lo, but you gotta give people a reason to care for this match, you know.
Yeah,
But speaking of caring, here we go. It's a triple threat cage match. Ken Shamrock versus Mankind versus Rock. The rules are pin, submission, or escape the cage. They all cut promos. The Rock talks about sugar coated testes. Mankind comments on that. The Rock comes out. Motherfucker is a babyface.
Mankind talks about friggin' Monica Lewinsky, which they just spent a couple minutes just shitting on for no reason. Which I thought was, I mean, it was the style at the time, but
Well, he was a hardcore liberal. He's probably thinking that the Republicans sent Monica Lewinsky, you know?
maybe. But he was just like, even I wouldn't hook up with her in high school or something like that. And he got a big pop. I remember that. I didn't think she's that ugly. I think she's ugly at all, but that's a different
Um,
podcast.
yeah, yeah. She's listen, Monica Lewinsky, one of the greatest human beings ever.
It was a different time in '98.
But yes, but this match, I mean, this is a hell of a match. These three guys,
Mm.
they're all trying to make a case to be the next top star. They are just killing it. These guys go at it. The Rock hits a double people's elbow. The Mankind jumps off the cage. Shamrock is going nuts. These guys really deliver a tremendous, underappreciated cage match. And the Rock, man, I mean, the strides he's made this summer into this fall, I mean, it's undeniable. Like, there's nobody with this trajectory in wrestling in years. Like, we can, the Obafemi thing, sure, it's manufactured. I'm talking, and I don't mean that as an insult to Oba, but this guy is just naturally becoming the biggest star in the world, and his work speaks for it. His charisma, his instincts. Um, what a hell of a match, a hell of a performance by all three guys. What you think? This is obviously the best match of the show. What you think? Again, The Rock steals the show, second month in a row. What you think?
Absolutely the best match of the show. Like I joked earlier, and I still stand by it. It sounds like a video game match, but it is one of those video game matches that you play with your friends on a Friday, playing No Mercy or Attitude or whatever game, SmackDown that they're in, and you just have a fucking banger with the three of them trying to win this match. It did not feel like a real match that would have happened in a cage too, and they did great. All three people did great. I kind of felt bad for Shamrock. Like the crowd just kind of turned against him. I'm sure he's a heel. I can't remember the week to week. I'm sure he's like corporate Shamrock by this point. But like, just, wow, like what a surprise on this show that
Mm-hmm.
definitely should get a lot more love than it did. If people are not loving it now, but I was really into it. I really liked it. The Rock was so popular. The idea. Then they're lucky that it worked. To take someone who got organically over, return them heel, and then turn them face again in a few months. They're very lucky that that worked out for them. That's how popular The Rock was. People just didn't want to
Yeah.
boo him, but it's kind of organic level that on a smaller extent right now, Trick Williams was getting before the Gingerbread Man. I'm not saying the Gingerbread Man ruined everything, but people are where it's just starting to get behind this guy who's clearly kind of just coming to his own, being funny, being entertaining, being a good wrestler. Obafemi aside, I think you could see that with Trick Williams today if they play their cards right, but it's a big if, so we'll see.
Yeah, it was so like what I mean by that is I feel like a lot of matches besides Hell in a Cell, let's say Hall in a Hole, Hell in a Cell
Oh,
get glossed
oh,
over because people are like, oh, the Attitude Era son, the Attitude Era isn't that good. And it's like there's a lot of great matches in the Attitude Era.
yeah,
And The Rock didn't just get over because he went Hickory Dickory Dock or whatever the fuck people. He was having great matches on pay-per-view and he was like proving himself as a worker. And
yeah.
he was like being innovative in what he did. He was given freedom, and it's just something that they don't do anymore. And like it's almost like they pull you back. It's almost like they don't want another Rock. It's like No, we want you to be a star, but on our terms. And The
Yeah,
Rock,
no, that's I forgot who said that WWE is the star now. They
yeah,
don't want a Rock, they don't want a Hogan, they don't want a Austin. To a lesser extent, they don't want a Cena. They want if Cena's out. And Triple H, I think, said this like, what happens if like these five people go, which is a mistake on their part. But yeah, if Cena's if like if Roman Reigns is gone, see Cody Rhodes is there. If Cody Rhodes is gone, CM Punk is there. CM Punk is gone, Seth Rollins is there. Like you're coming to see WWE as a whole, and you're not leaving when this person leaves because they had that way too many times. So I think they like it that way, but there's some people who are just mega stars, and sorry, LA Knight, they don't think you're one of them. But there's some people who are just mega stars, and The Rock is definitely one of those people who feels like a mega star that you leave when The Rock leaves. And that's happened. That continues to happen. Rock comes back from Mania, people tune in. Rock leaves, people tune out. It's just how it is. Some of these people are just larger than life in the world of wrestling.
yeah, yeah. No, it's fucking awesome. Up next, now here's the match order on this show is really weird because I don't know why. I think I know why you put these two matches after the cage match. I think they didn't want people. I think they wanted a lull. This is what I think. I think they wanted a
Mm-hmm.
lull. So if The Rock got a bigger pop than Austin, it's not noticeable. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think you can argue that people were tired because you put on two like matches that we cared about before Austin came out. But I think it was also like they wanted the crowd dead again for Austin because I think Austin was paranoid that The Rock was already eclipsing him in popularity. So even so soon. So I think that's why this match order was done this way. What do you think of that theory? Because it's a weird match order.
Yeah. No, I think it definitely they want to kill the crowd. It was like kind of like a slow build. You cool them down, and then DX is gonna do fine because everyone likes DX still. And then like when Stone Cold comes out, you're like, yeah. So I think that's exactly what they were doing. Because I can tell you right now, I did not care for this match at all. I did not care. No
No,
interest.
no, it's although Terry Reynolds had nice stuff. It's Val Venus versus
Yeah,
Dustin Reynolds. This match gets a lot of time, and
too
Dustin's
much time.
what?
I said too much time.
Yeah, too much time, and Dustin's trying, but it's like nobody cares. You know, if they had done Dustin Rhodes, like a cowboy ass kicker, but this born again thing, and he's a heel, and I don't know what they're trying to say about religion so much. Are you against it? Are you? I don't know. It's very weird. Um, it's it's no win. I'm supposed to like Val because this guy like just trying to make his life better, and he's going to church, and Val stole his wife, and I'm supposed to think Val's the baby face, like.
What a
But
horrible
I'm
human
supposed
being.
to think that all church going people are pieces of shit, so that's why I'm supposed to boo Dustin, that he's a fraud. I don't know, but there's no heat, and it's not good at all. You know, it's not. Now the payoff in the end, I told you he's coming back, and it's original Gold Dust was he got. I don't know if you Judgment Day next month he gets a massive pop. That's what people want to see him as regular Gold Dust, not weird Gold Dust, not this shit. But it's just like it's a no-win situation for these two guys. What did you think?
No, I didn't think it was very entertaining, very exciting. Yeah, Val Venus was, I mean, I guess the birth of Terry Reynolds is from what we see now, in 98 to the last time we see her. I mean, at least until she becomes an announcer, that Terry Reynolds is born, but it wasn't very interesting. It wasn't interesting to me. Dustin Rhodes Goldust might be one of these people that like has the most talent, but like the worst gimmicks. And I'm not talking about Goldust. It's Goldust. Goldust did fine, but Seven, which didn't last that long, and Christian Goldust and like weird Dustin Rhodes and all this other stuff. Besides the natural and Goldust, there's so much bullshit, and I guess what he's doing in AEW. There's so much bullshit in between that this guy who could have been a way bigger star, way more importance, is almost kind of seen as just not as important as he could be. And yes, drugs and alcohol play a factor too, but it's just so stupid. Like, what have you been doing with this guy? Like, I don't understand it. It's just he just had to go through so much. I don't know if it's just the rib Dusty Roads or what, whether his
I think
personal
it was the
problems.
I think it was to. I think his personal problems. I think they had no respect for. I think it was to fuck with Dusty Rhodes. I think
Yeah,
a lot of the shit that he goes through since '95 is to fuck with Dusty Rhodes, and the fact that he was so mentally damaged that Vince could tell him to like, you know, have sex with a frog in the ring, and he would have done it.
he would done it. Yeah, it's just weird. Like I didn't like this as a kid. I remember Born Again Goldust. I was like, what are we doing? This
Yeah,
is stupid.
it's ridiculous.
So yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, it got the crowd quiet. You got what you wanted.
Yeah. All right. Up next, it is X Pac and the New Age Outlaws versus Jeff Jarrett and Southern Justice. And
Oh
again,
yeah.
this is another match where I don't think Road Dogg is any good in the ring. I think he's a bum. And
I mean, I
the
think he
New
would
Age
tell you that.
Outlaws, once the bell rings, they're horrible. And people are not into Jeff Jarrett. People are not into the Godwins if they're not the Godwins. And the match is like, I just these matches it would have done better for these matches to have been before the Rock's match. It's just now you're like, I just want to see Austin. I'm done with this. And these guys try, and it's a good idea, the Southern Crew versus Wacky DX, but I don't know, it kind of fell flat. What did you think of this match?
No, I thought it fell flat too. I think the big thing is the guitar on what's his face, X-Pac, which I don't know if that was a real or fake injury. They kind of spent a lot of time focusing on his eye, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was a feud. They just needed some time. They needed time to kill. Like I said, DX was still very popular, so I don't think anyone was going to be too upset to have DX there. But it just I didn't care for this. Jeff Jarrett was not the Jeff Jarrett that gets over in 99, and the Godwins were on their last legs as a team. Southern Justice was on their last legs as a team anyway. So it just was there. I think you hit the nail on the head. You needed to lower the expectations for Austin. But there's also two triple threat matches for Austin, Undertaker and Kane. So you had to put something in the middle. And unfortunately, it was these people.
I think this show shows also the mid card is in a weird period. Like they don't have their pieces in place. And I remember watching Raw feeling like the mid card was a little lost. They
Hmm.
wanted to move Rock away from the Nation, and great for Rock, but it also was like well, the Nation was a needed act in the mid card. So everyone's kind of directionless. They're adjusting the Godwins, and the adjustment's not hitting, but they're not going to go back. A lot of these new guys they want to build, but it's tough because a lot of the veterans are leaving or don't do it. So like, you have Vader and Mark Marrow and Scorpio trying to get like these young. So it's a weird transition period for the mid card. And the great thing though is on the house shows may be boring, the pay-per-views may be boring, but the Raws are better than ever with what Austin and Vince are doing with Kane and Undertaker. So it's a means to an
Yeah.
end to the Raw. But I
Yeah.
think you definitely see, and I felt it at the time, and they get their ducks in the row, and they get the corporation going, the Job Squad. Uh, Dustin becomes Gold Dust again. They get their pieces back in a row, and it starts getting the mid card starts picking up. But this is definitely a transition era for the mid card. This show.
No, it absolutely is. I know we've said it before. If they had WCW mid card and the WWF main eventers, by why are you doing this? The WWE main eventers, then it would have been a whole different situation. It was that's not what they had. They had the Godwins. They still had like the kind of remnants of the new generation and people that they were trying to build, and then they had Stone Cold Rock, Foley, Shamrock, Undertaker, Kane. And so these mid-card shows are really, really tough to watch sometimes.
Yeah,
And then sometimes you get a little bit of a gem like D'Lo Brown and Val Venus, my personal match of the year, apparently. But
yeah, they
it's just
try. I mean,
me.
I saw people calling Val Venus a bum who never had a good match, and I wanted to be like, actually, if you watch SummerSlam '98, I know the guy's a piece of shit, but he did have a good match. I mean,
Yeah, somebody was saying that he was the litmus test for a long time. Like if you could have a good match with Val Venus, then you were pushed
yeah,
in the main roster.
right. It's like we can say this guy is a transphobic fucking piece of shit, but also say that he had a good match. I just hate this thing where it's like, oh, I don't like you, you never did anything good. Oh, I like
Yeah.
you, all you did was good.
Oh,
No, that's
they love doing that. I don't agree with that either. I mean, Triple H gets that a lot. Eric
Turner.
Bischoff that gets it a lot about how terrible WCW is. Uh, Hogan got it. You know, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, we were talking about last week where like they were trying to say that Hogan was not as important as he was, which is just not true. It's just yeah, it's just
Oh,
what people like to do.
so jumping ahead to the main event, because remember Dave Bixby was like they could have done it with Sergeant Slaughter, which is just such a fucking. So in the main event, Slaughter, because they tried Slaughter as a stooge, Slaughter comes out
Yeah.
there with Patterson and Briscoe, and Patterson and Briscoe run circles around him in terms of just making faces at the ring. Like, bro, this guy is getting outclassed as a character by Patterson and Briscoe. He did not have the charisma of Hulk Hogan. He did not. He doesn't have the charisma of Gerald Briscoe. He doesn't have the charisma of Gerald Briscoe. Okay, he got to deal with GI Joe, and that's made people think that he was better than he actually was. He was a fat bozo. Let's fucking be for real here. All right.
You sound like the people who said Val Venis isn't any good.
No, Star Slayer had great matches in the 70s and 80s. He wasn't Hulk Hogan. He can't stand there and emote the way Patterson and Briscoe are doing. And no one ever says Patterson and Briscoe should be the fucking set. When they were younger, we should just put the world title on those two guys. No one ever says that. It was like,
Yeah.
let's be for real here. Let's be for real. Slaughter had a place. Patterson had a place, but if you honestly think Slaughter could have been the Hogan, you are out of your mind, and you would have driven WWF into bankruptcy by WrestleMania 2.
I mean, we're still, this is years later, but WrestleMania 7 is also kind of the proof. Nobody wanted to see Hogan slaughter for many reasons,
Many
but
reasons, but
Hulk
also the
Hogan
match
started
itself.
slaughter. Yeah, yeah, nobody wanted to
Probably
see
his
that
worst
match
WrestleMania match in terms of England, Hogan and Slaughter. So,
of
you
all
know,
time.
WrestleMania,
Yeah.
yeah, one is good, two
Mm,
is great. Hogan's King Kong Bundy is very underrated, great match.
mm, mm.
Three is great for just what it was. I mean, it's the spectacle. Actually, my four might be his worst. Four is actually worse. I'm sorry, four is worse.
Hogan Andre too.
Yeah, five is incredible. Six is amazing. You can't take that away from either guy. Yeah, eight is good. Eight was starting to be good, and nine, I no, four is still worse than nine. And then 18 and 19 are fucking awesome matches, and 19 is unbelievably good. On 19,
Yeah,
it shocked me how good
it's
19.
like a street fight, right? Him and
Yeah,
Vince.
I just
Yeah.
19 is if Shawn Michaels didn't make his return, that would have been the match of the night. Like if Shawn Michaels didn't wrestle Jericho, that match is blows away Rock Austin, Brock,
That's interesting.
Angle. Yeah, have you rewatched that match lately?
No, I mean, I'm not rewatching the match with Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan.
Well,
But,
when we get to 19,
but, yeah, not on my own free time. But
that match, I remember thinking this match is gonna be really bad. I remember like not being hyped. I was like, why can't Hogan just like wrestle? Like, why can't he wrestle Austin?
Nathan Jones, yeah.
What?
Nathan Jones.
But why can't he wrestle anyone but Vince? And I remember being like, oh, and I was like, oh, they're gonna have Vince win or something. And then the match started,
Yeah, and Piper
and
comes
I
out and stuff.
rewatched 19 since I moved here to California. Same thing. It's just these guys are like putting it all on the line. They're putting it all on the line. They're giving you your money's worth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And but they're both horrible. They're both bad people to the internet. So it was the worst match. And actually, Nathan Jones had a better match. Oh no,
I
Nathan
mean,
Jones.
I mean, there's still bad people, but yes, outside of the internet, you can't take away from a good match. I mean, Rock Hogan is a match that, like,
Oh, I
wow,
rewatched that recently.
it's just cool just to watch that whole moment. You can't take that away. That's something that doesn't happen. We were talking about organic stuff that happened organically. That just happened organically. I remember watching it and being like, what is happening right now? And then them on the fly, just Rock being the heel, Hogan being the face, just not something that we would see
it's
today.
so fun. No, keep going. I'm sorry.
Like I would like yeah, we just wouldn't see it today. And I also feel like fans don't allow themselves to get put in that situation anymore. Like yeah, like I know like sometimes NXT, I'm gonna use NXT as an example. It'll be JC Jane against fucking Jada Parker. And then Jada Parker is the clear good guy. And you know how people do the mixed chants?
Mhm.
They're doing the mixed chant, let's go JC to just do it for JC. They're not doing it because JC Jane is in storyline is deserving these cheers or getting these cheers. they're doing that because they're conditioned to do the mixed chants. They're conditioned to do the this is awesome for a moment that is very just okay. Like they
Yeah.
just don't allow themselves as often to feel and get into a moment like that where you're like, all right, well now the script is flipped, and what do we do here? Like they just don't do it. Like they could have
No,
did it with Cody Cena, the first time, and then you could have still had the dumb Travis Scott stuff, but they just didn't do it. They
the,
stuck with their
the,
guns.
the thing that makes 18 work is that everyone in that building just goes back to 1985.
Yeah, they do.
No residue of NWO, Hogan being old, of everything that went that the Attitude Era. Everyone in that building is just like, I don't give a shit if this wrecks the entire company for 5 years. I'm this is 85. The Rock is King Kong Bundy. Hogan is Hogan. Let's go nuts. And and I don't think people are willing to just go back and just be like,
No.
I'm gonna be 10. And it's so funny because we all just are into the things that we were when we were 10 now all day long. But we try to like fucking we try to like talk about them like it's serious business. You know, people on Twitter yelling about fucking Superman movies like it's the stock market. And people
It
just
is to them, I guess.
people just got lost in I don't care because he already had the rep of being a politician and holding up. People just want I don't care. I don't care about any of that, man.
They got to see Hulk Hogan again
Fucking Hulk up.
in the
Fucking let's go back.
WWF, which
Mm-hmm.
is something that either they did not get to see when they were younger or they saw when they were really younger, and now
And
they
they
can
want to
either
go back.
see that as an adult or share that with their child or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was a magic to it. I can't think of a time now where you would let
Because
that happen.
Even when Cena was the biggest star, there was still the cynicalness, and there was still like nobody like WWF TV doesn't acknowledge it. There was backlash against Hogan, but they don't acknowledge it like in WrestleMania 2. Oh, some people don't like Hogan, but like the whole storyline of ECW One Night Stand with Sabu, RVD, and John Cena was
Yeah,
that there are people out there that think you stink, and you should not be the top star. And so it's hard to get lost because like you constantly had them undermining like this feeling of Cena's my guy because you had RVD walk out and be like, actually you suck.
yeah, yeah. Triple H had the same storyline. Like, hey, people want me to be the champ, me of all people. Uh, Yeah, they John Cena was one that they just stuck to their guns with, and I guess it worked out until 2025, but it worked out for a very, very long time.
But let's get to the main event. This main
Yeah,
event,
big
actually, when I was
tangent.
younger, I didn't think was that good. Now rewatching it, yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, for the handicap match, I guess there's just been so many shitty handicap matches in WWE since then that this one, it's basically a handicap match. I mean,
Yeah,
theoretically,
triple
if
threat.
Undertaker could pit Austin, Kane would have lost, but like they're not allowed to pin each other, so it's a handicap match.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? I interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
No, I just said quote triple threat end quote.
Yeah, yeah, it's a cool triple threat. But it's a pretty good brawl, and there's moments where Austin uses psychology to turn Undertaker and Kane against one another. The finish, I will say I didn't like the finish, but the ride that takes the belt on to where we get to The Rock as McMahon's true champion is very good
Hmm.
because it almost feels like McMahon told them both to pin one another. Like someone put that idea in their head. Why don't you both pin Austin? Because he
Hmm.
wanted to hold up the belt to get it to Rock. Like it feels like the stooge. It feels like there's a plan by the evil mastermind, not just like I'm just gonna cut heel promos every week.
Yeah,
And
no, it's a good plan. It was like you said, it's one of the probably one of the best Raws the next day.
yeah,
You got the Zamboni, you got the Undertaker and Kane breaking Vince McMahon's leg. One of my favorite lines: "You didn't live up to your end of the deal. I'm not gonna live up to mine," which is
yeah.
very weird as Vince McMahon voice. And it really sets the tone for the next 6 months till
Oh yeah, but
WrestleMania.
watch
This
the Royal Rumble video package for the Royal Rumble '99. The
yeah.
it starts at this pay-per-view and it goes to every pay-per-view leading to the Rumble, and it made that Rumble feel so fucking important because it's like Austin. It's basically like they could do this now. They could do this now, where it's like the baby face, like basically the Royal Rumble is like CM Punk or Cody Rhodes or the new guy Obafemi. It's their end game. They have
Hmm.
to go through the armies of Thanos to get to the final boss.
Yeah.
And that's basically what that Rumble was. Like, I've put you through everything, and now the entire company's against you. And you got to get through them to get to me, and you also to get through them to get to WrestleMania and to get your belt back. And they could do this again. But yeah, this starts the road to WrestleMania. This match.
Yeah, the last time they tried that one was Roman Reigns when he had the Roman Reigns Triple H when he had to go through everybody and defend the WWE Championship
Yeah,
in thing and AJ
2016.
Styles debuted at least that was cool,
That was
but
cool.
but yeah, it just I don't know the way they do things now, and it's not nostalgia goggles because I'm not that nostalgic for the Attitude Era at all. But despite me being like, bring the mixed people, bring the hat, do the mid card and main eventers again. But yeah, this was just really well done. Not necessarily the match. The match was fine. I do like that at one point Kane and the Undertaker like working like double team moves and stuff. I was like, Kane, what are you doing? Like, focus. Like, why are you teaming up with Stone Cold right now? It's just kind of funny to see. Maybe it's Kane's inexperience as a character and wrestler. You can say that in storyline wise, but he got caught up in the moment. But yeah, it's just it really kicks this off until WrestleMania 15, and this is something you could do, and I think it's something that people would prefer to see. I know I said Jacob Fatu should beat Roman Reigns would be shocking. One of the reasons people turn against Cody Rhodes and all that are these long ass reigns. I know Triple H likes these long, legitimate reigns, but like, everyone gonna have a long reign? Like, no. Like, Cody Rhodes is already made. If Cody Rhodes lost the title to Drew McIntyre in September, I know we're going way back now. Like, we
Yeah,
already know. Like, Cody Rhodes is not all of a sudden gonna be looked at as Apollo Crews. Sorry, Apollo Crews. He's still gonna be fine. And then he has to work his way back, and then he gets to it eventually. Like this is not rocket science. He used to do it with Stone Cold all the time, and people didn't turn on Stone Cold Steve Austin. It just, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted, maybe they really didn't like it. Maybe he didn't like it when he was live in there, and that's why we don't do it. But I think this stuff can make the show now more interesting to watch.
yeah. I think
Personally,
with this match not getting stars from Meltzer now, no, but I think it'd be compelling. I don't think they wouldn't do it now, or they would do it like Tony Khan does it, where like Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher are in the same faction. They're like slamming each other's head into the fucking steel steps, like trying to like murder each other. And it's like, aren't you guys working together? This is a more logical. This is a more logical way that two allies would work against a common enemy in a triple threat
hmm
match. And it doesn't bring star ratings, but it definitely makes compelling stories. And I still remember that Raw. I don't remember some NXT takeovers that got 97 stars. So what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? So is the match the greatest? No, but it gets the job done. And sometimes you just got to get the job done, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Speaking of Austin and Undertaker, have they ever? I mean, we've given them, I think, nicer reviews than other people have. It seems I was watching one of the Brian Zane and Wrestling with Regrets, and I think it's one of the few last. It's not the last, but one of the last Undertaker Austin matches in 2001. And he's like, these guys have never had a good match. I don't know if there's a real good match that Stone Cold and Undertaker have had that everybody's like, this is a good one. Because we didn't necessarily hate SummerSlam '98 or 1997. We didn't hate it, but everyone's like, anytime these two get together, it's just horrible.
Yeah, I always thought SummerSlam '98 was a great match, and I guess Scott didn't like it that much, and the other people don't like it. I think the problem was I think people wanted Austin to explore the mid card or bring some people up, and I think every time they kind of defaulted to Undertaker, people got annoyed. I mean, 2001, I think that they should have feuded with the Hardy Boys after WrestleMania, and the
That would
fact
have
that it
been
was
cool.
Undertaker for 2 months, I think that really hurt the Austin heel turn. Even though it was a bad idea, I think going back to Undertaker Kane as soon as he turns heel, I think was stupid. And I think it was like, ugh, I gotta see this again. But it's like I don't want to see this again. I want to see if Austin's a heel, he's got to elevate. I think he's got to elevate people. They didn't do a good job of that. We'll get into that when we get to that. But like, I think that's the reason for a lot of the backlash. And the other reason the backlash, because it was that backlash, but the other reason for the backlash is that that's when WCW goes under, and your only choice now, there's nothing, everything. It's like scorched earth with wrestling, and your only choice is to watch Austin Undertaker again. And I
Yeah,
think a lot of people like got annoyed by that. It's like this is my future. I have to see shit that I don't want to see. Like there's so much you can do with Austin, and yeah, I think that's
yeah.
probably the bad for press. But
No, I know Zayn said if you switched it when it was Kane and like at least Kane and Austin, they didn't really wrestle as much. Maybe it would have been a little more digestible to see Kane on. But I really like the idea. I don't know if the Hardys were ready yet, but I like the idea of like Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy against the power trip, like not on a Raw, but like on a pay-per-view, or like Jeff Hardy, Stone Cold Steve Austin, which I don't think they may have had one match on Raw. But Jeff Hardy, especially at that time, even if he's not winning the title, I think it could have been a big litmus test for him. I know he got it a year later if he fought Stone Cold Steve Austin in the main event of Judgment Day. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
you could have had a little bit of a main eventer earlier if that happened. But it's not a lot. It's not worth thinking about. This was so long ago, but it could have been cool.
yeah,
I did like the moment when they saved Lita. I thought that's probably one of the coolest things I saw on Raw when Undertaker and Kane came out, and they came out like slowly the walk to the ring, and then Stone Cold and Triple H run away, and then the rest of it goes to crap. But that moment was cool.
yeah, it was, and
But
you
yes,
know,
as for this, I the double pin, Vince. Like I got nothing else to say about it. It sets up the next 6 months, and it's wonderful, wonderful storytelling.
yeah, no, it's a pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, I like the fact that they saved Lita, but at the same time, it's like you could have. I guess time proved him right. Triple H be like, yeah, well, Jeff Hardy got a little DUI, so I guess it was okay. Undertaker spoke to Triple H. Shut up, Triple H, piece of shit. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I say, if you want a little, if you like The Rock and you like Kane and you like Austin, give this a watch. If you're not into all those three guys, I say skip it. What do you think?
I say watch that triple threat match, and even if you don't need to watch anything else, watch that triple threat match. I mean, I think it'll give you a really good reappreciation for The Rock, Mankind, if you don't have that already, and Ken Shamrock, who does not get his flowers enough. One more thing on the Hardy thing, they could have done it. They never did the Hardys versus the two-man power trip. They did the Hardys and Lita against Stephanie, Triple H, and Austin, which is I don't know, could have been a pay-per-view. Could have even been
Yeah.
the European pay-per-view. I don't care. But it could have done it. Oh well.
Oh well, listen.
Undertaker needed something to do. DDP wasn't there
We
yet.
got a lot. When we get to 2001, we got a lot to say, but
Oh
we're not
boy,
there yet.
yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
enjoy the
we'll
good
get
times.
there.
Let's enjoy the good times while it's here.
I actually
So
like 2001.
we got to talk.
Yeah,
All right,
okay. I mean, I was 14, so
let's review the next 4 weeks. All right, next week it's Judgment Day '98. It's Kane versus Undertaker for the title. Austin
oh
is the referee,
boy.
spilling out of the events of this show. In 2 weeks, it's Halloween Havoc '98. It's Goldberg versus DDP. In 3 weeks, it's November to Remember '98 with the new triple threat versus the old triple threat. And then in 4 weeks, pivotal show, Survivor Series '98 with the main event of Mankind versus Rock for the title. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
In November 15th, 1998. What are you looking forward to?
Oh boy. What am I looking forward to? I'm gonna go with not No Mercy, Judgment Day, because I don't remember anything outside of the main event.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Halloween Havoc and Survivor Series. Those are the ones I'm pumped for. So it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting. We're getting to the corporation era, which I enjoyed. So you
Oh
know.
yeah.
All right, guys, that's the podcast. Kyle, you got anything to plug?
Eventually, Character Select Comedy, June 20th. A nice little layover for a bit. June 20th at the Stand will be my birthday show. So come hang out, celebrate my birthday with me. And be a good show, good time. Got to get that lineup and those tickets going, but that should be up by next week.
Yeah. All right, cool. And fast for me, I was just in Netflix's Joke Festival. I'm a huge star. But right now, really got nothing to
Huge
plug. But
deal.
follow the podcast. You rate us, review us. Show support. Tell people that if you listen to it, you like it. We have seen an uptake in listenership, which is great. I want to keep it rolling. Obviously, I don't want to become flagrant and have people harass my wife, like Akash saying I don't have a wife. But I
Is that
like the,
what's
I
going
like
on
I
now?
like
They
the
they they
steady.
were they were harassing her a while ago. I remember that.
Yeah, he had to leave flagrant because of that stuff, but it is
Ah,
what it is.
jeez. All right.
All right. You know what? He was always nice to me. I know he hated you.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's so funny because I know a lot of these guys, and they were just kind of like a casual, like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? And then like now it's like people like, oh, his wife, and I'm like, who cares about any of this? He's just the guy. I guess he's not just the guy.
Oh
All
well,
right.
goes on.
Speaking of just the guy, we'll see you next week when it's Kane versus Undertaker. Thanks.